shouldn't have listened.
The mirror blinked before I did. Then it smiled, but my mouth was still closed. A hairline crack ran across the glass like a pulse, and from inside that thin silver line, I heard breathing. My name's Daniel. I work nights at a downtown hotel, cleaning the conference suites after events. Every floor has a long mirror by the elevators, one of those full-height decorative ones that make the hallway look endless. I've walked past it hundreds of times. Never thought about it until the night it blinked back. It was around 2:40 a.m. The guests were gone, lights dimmed to half, vacuum humming behind me. I turned to check the exit sign, and my reflection didn't. It just stood there, head tilted, smiling faintly. The kind of smile you only give when you recognize someone you shouldn't. I thought it was exhaustion. I stepped closer, raised my hand. The reflection copied me a beat too late, fingers trembling slightly as if catching up. Then the overhead bulbs flickered, and the mirrored surface rippled, like it was under shallow water. I stepped back. The hallway stretched, literally stretched, a few extra feet in the reflection. A service door that didn't exist appeared behind my copy. Its knob turned once. I told myself I'd imagined it. I turned around, no door, just beige wall and cleaning cart. When I looked back, the door in the mirror stood wide open, dark inside. Something shifted in that darkness. Not movement, pressure. The feeling you get when someone leans too close behind you. Then I heard my own voice, faint but clear. "Don't leave me here." I dropped the vacuum handle. The reflection's mouth moved first, forming the words half a second before I spoke them, like it knew the line. I felt air rush past my ear, warm and wet, even though nothing stood behind me. I covered the mirror with a sheet that night. When I came back the next shift, the sheet was gone. Management said they never saw it. The maintenance guy joked maybe your other self took it home. The next few nights, the mirror started showing small differences. In one, my reflection's shirt had a tear I didn't have. In another, my ID badge was reversed. Mirrored letters, yes, but the font was wrong. Once, when I blinked, it didn't. I could see its eyes, still wide, wet and focused on me, while mine were shut. Last Thursday, I tested it. I wrote, "Hello," on a notepad and held it up. My reflection smiled and wrote something back, but backward, inside the glass. I flipped the image with my phone camera. It read, "Stay when the lights go out." At that moment, the hallway lights cut. The hum of the building died. In the black, I heard glass creak like ice shifting on a pond. Then a hand, cold, flat, smooth as glass, pressed out from the surface. Fingertips first, followed by a pale wrist. I ran. I didn't even take the elevator. I sprinted 6 floors down the emergency stairs. By the time I reached the lobby, the power was back. The security footage showed me alone, standing in front of the mirror, whispering to myself, then slamming my palms against it. But in the reflection, my mouth wasn't moving. The one inside the glass was. I quit the next morning. Haven't been near another mirror since. But last night, when I brushed my teeth, the bathroom faucet trembled. The water shimmered like mercury. For half a second, my reflection didn't copy me. It leaned forward, lips barely moving, and mouthed the words, "You left the light on in my hallway." Something knocked from inside my front door. 3 slow knocks from the side facing the street. Then, the deadbolt turned by itself, and when I looked through the peephole, my own living room was on the other side. My name's Claire. I rent a narrow 2-story house just off Bayfield Avenue. Built in 1928, all warped floors and thin walls. The kind of place that hums when trucks pass. It started last winter, right after I changed the front doorknob. The old brass one jammed every few days, so I replaced it with a smart lock. Brand new, voice-synced, calibrated perfectly. Or so I thought. The first time it locked itself, I blamed the app. It was 11:17 p.m. I was taking laundry upstairs and the bolt clicked behind me. When I came back down, the door was red-lighted, jammed from inside. I reset it. It unlocked. Simple glitch. The second time the bolt turned while I was standing right next to it. No draft, no wind, no one outside. Just the quiet metallic twist of the mechanism sliding home. Then my phone buzzed with a push notification. Door locked. Remote command. But the command log showed my own voice. I don't even use voice mode. I deleted the app, unpaired the hub, and went to bed. Around 2 a.m., the hallway light flicked on. My bedroom door creaked. From downstairs came the same 3 knocks. Slow, deliberate, on the inside of the front door again. I stepped out and whispered, "Who's there?" Silence. Then, the faint click of the deadbolt. I held my breath, turned the knob, and peered through the peephole. It wasn't black outside. It wasn't anything. The view showed my own hallway, identical, but empty, as if the door opened into another copy of my house. The light flickered on the other side a beat after mine. I shut my eyes and backed away. The door vibrated like something large leaned its weight against it. I heard my voice, muffled, say, "It's okay. Let me in." I ran to the breaker panel and killed power. The house went dark. Still, the smart lock's red ring glowed faintly, battery-powered. I pressed my ear against the wood. On the other side, footsteps matched mine. When I lifted my hand from the door, another hand, perfectly timed, lifted too. At 3 a.m. it stopped. No sound, no light. Just that heavy wooden smell of old varnish and something damp, like skin that's been pressed too long against glass. Next morning I called the locksmith. He laughed it off, said, "Wi-Fi locks ghost sometimes when firmware updates." He replaced it with a manual bolt. No tech, no connection. He handed me 2 keys. That night, the new lock turned on its own. No electronics, no batteries, just brass and friction. It clicked shut while both keys sat in my open palm. I haven't opened that door since. I use the back entrance, even for groceries. The mail piles up behind the front one. I can see envelopes through the crack under the frame. Some nights I still hear the knocks. Always 3. Always patient. Once, curiosity won. I bent down and looked through that thin strip beneath the door. A pale eye stared back, mine, blinking half a second late, like it was waiting for me to go first. Now I slide towels against the bottom gap, but they shift overnight, as if pulled from the other side. I keep telling myself it's air pressure, settling wood, anything. But deep down I know the truth. Whatever learned to use my voice is still waiting on the threshold, and it's not trying to get in. It's trying to make sure I never leave. The baby monitor whispered my name before it turned itself on. The green light blinked twice, even though the plug was hanging out of the wall. Then every TV in the house flashed to static all at once. And in that static, a mouth began to move. "My name's Evan," I don't tell people this part when I talk about what happened that night. My wife and daughter were out of town visiting her parents. I was alone, half asleep on the couch with a movie still running. The baby monitor sat on the coffee table, powered off since the day they left. Around 1:12 a.m., it blinked on by itself, that soft green light like someone breathing. Then the whisper came. "Evan." Not from the TV, from the monitor. It's one-way audio. It can't receive sound. I thought it was interference, maybe a CB signal or someone's Bluetooth speaker nearby. I unplugged it, but the speaker hissed louder, like air leaking through a throat. I could hear faint footsteps upstairs, slow and careful, as if whoever it was already knew I was listening. I opened the home app on my phone and pulled up the nursery camera feed. For a few seconds, nothing. Then the static formed a shape, broad shoulders, head tilted slightly, the outline of a person watching the crib. I ran upstairs. The hallway smelled like hot plastic. The nursery door was half open. I pushed it gently. Empty. The baby blanket was folded. Everything perfect. Then, the monitor in my hand flashed white. Not video white, but screen burn white. Text appeared jittering across the top. "He's not in the feed anymore." I dropped it. The message burned itself into my brain. Downstairs, the static sound returned, this time from the living room. The TV I'd turned off was humming again. When I reached the bottom of the stairs, I could see the glow reflecting across the floorboards. I could smell the dust warming inside the screen. And then I saw it. A figure pressed up against the glass from the inside. It didn't move like video. It moved like breath, expanding and contracting with static. The outline looked almost like me, but wrong. The head leaned too far to one side. The mouth was a stretched grin that pulsed in rhythm with my heartbeat. I grabbed the remote. Nothing worked. The volume slid higher by itself until the air vibrated. I pulled the plug out of the wall. The static stayed on, pulsing, the outline watching me. Then, silence. Everything went black. And in that blackout I heard breathing, faint but perfectly matched to mine, just half a second behind, like it was waiting for me to inhale first. I couldn't stay in that house. I slept in my car with the monitor in the trunk, but even through the metal I could still hear faint interference, tiny, broken syllables that almost formed my name. I don't keep cameras anymore. No monitors, no smart devices, nothing that can watch back. But sometimes, when the weather turns and the signal towers hum, the TV downstairs will click alive for all. One single frame, and in that instant before it dies, the face staring back looks like mine, but older, calmer, and waiting for me to stop pretending I'm not listening.